Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking an up-close look at something truly extraordinary, the 2026 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now if you've been following Rolls-Royce, you know this isn't just any luxury car. This is the flagship, the Pinnacle. The car that's been defining automotive excellence since 1925. And let me tell you, the 2026 model continues that legacy in the most refined way possible. So what's new for 2026? Well, Rolls-Royce hasn't gone crazy with changes here, and honestly, when you've already achieved near perfection, why would you? The last major update came in 2023 with a restyled fascia and those stunning illuminated grille elements. For 2026, we're looking at subtle refinements rather than revolutionary changes. Think of it as Rolls-Royce doing what they do best, perfecting the details, maintaining that timeless elegance, and ensuring that the Phantom remains the ultimate expression of luxury on four wheels. Let's walk around this magnificent machine and talk about what makes it so special. Starting with the exterior, the Phantom's design language is unmistakable. That long, imposing hood stretches out in front of you like a statement of intent. The proportions here are absolutely commanding. This car has presence like nothing else on the road. The iconic Pantheon grille dominates the front end, and it's been subtly cleaned up for the latest model year. It's upright, bold, and when you see those LED headlights flanking it with their crisper, more defined elements, you realize this car means business in the most refined way possible. The headlights themselves deserve a closer look. They've been refined with sharper LED technology that gives the Phantom a more contemporary face while maintaining that classic Rolls-Royce character. It's not about being flashy or aggressive, it's about being unmistakably elegant. When you see these lights come on at night, especially with that illuminated grille, it's like watching a piece of art come to life. Moving down the side, look at these proportions. The Phantom is available in two wheelbase configurations, and what you're looking at here is the extended wheelbase model, the EWB. This beauty stretches to over 235 inches in length with a wheelbase of nearly 149 inches. That's almost 8.5 inches longer than the standard Phantom, and all of that extra space goes exactly where it matters most, the rear passenger compartment. We're talking about proper limousine-level space here. These coach doors, and yes, they're rear-hinged because this is Rolls-Royce and they do things properly, open up to reveal an interior that's nothing short of breathtaking. But we'll get to that in just a moment. First, take a look at these massive wheels, the elegant body lines that flow from front to rear without a single awkward angle, and that signature Rolls-Royce roofline that just glides back with such grace. The design is timeless because it doesn't chase trends, it sets them. The Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament sits proudly at the prow of this automotive yacht, and it's more than just a decoration. It's a symbol of everything Rolls-Royce represents. And if you look closely at the paintwork, depending on the bespoke options chosen, you might see finishes that contain multiple layers of hand-applied color. Because at this level of luxury, even the paint is an art form. Now, let's open these magnificent coach doors and step inside. And when I say step inside, I mean enter a world that exists completely separate from reality. The moment you close that door behind you, something magical happens. The outside world just disappears. The silence is almost eerie at first. Rolls-Royce has engineered this cabin to be the quietest place on four wheels, and they've succeeded beyond what you might think is possible. Every surface you see has been touched by human hands during its creation. The leather? It's the finest available, sourced from bulls raised in regions where there are no insects that might scar the hide. The wood veneers look like they've been plucked from a luxury yacht, polished to an almost mirror-like finish. And then there's the Starlight Headliner. Thousands of fiber optic lights embedded in the ceiling that create the appearance of a perfect night sky. It's mesmerizing, it's unique to your car, and it never gets old. In the extended wheelbase model, the rear passenger compartment is where the Phantom truly shines. You've got an extra 220 millimeters of legroom compared to the standard model, and when you're already starting from a position of extreme spaciousness, that extra space becomes almost obscene. The rear seats are power adjustable. They offer massage functions, and you can recline into a position that would make a first-class airline seat jealous. There's a refrigerated console compartment for your beverages, because of course there is. And if you opt for the partition between the front and rear compartments, you get what Rolls-Royce calls the privacy suite. It's soundproofed. It's private, and it's your personal sanctuary on wheels. The rear seat entertainment screens drop down from the front seat backs, giving passengers access to all the car's systems, navigation, audio, and even live television if you want it. Speaking of audio, the 18-speaker bespoke audio system in the Phantom sounds exactly as expensive as you'd expect. It's been tuned specifically for this cabin, taking into account every surface, every material, and every acoustic property to deliver sound that's nothing short of concert hall quality. The dashboard features something called the gallery, a glass-enclosed space that spans the full width of the dashboard where you can display custom artwork, embroidery, or really anything your imagination can conceive. Some owners commission famous artists to create pieces specifically for this space. Others might incorporate meaningful items or designs that tell their personal story. It's another level of customization that you simply won't find anywhere else. The infotainment system features a large touchscreen that can actually retract into the dashboard when you want an uncluttered view. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are included, along with built-in navigation, USB ports, and wireless charging. The digital gauge cluster provides all the information you need in a clean, elegant display. But honestly, you're probably not going to be worrying too much about the tech features when you're surrounded by this much handcrafted luxury. Now let's talk about what's under that incredibly long hood, the heart of this machine. The 2026 Phantom is powered by a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine. In an era where V12s are becoming increasingly rare, Rolls-Royce is keeping this magnificent engine alive, and thank goodness they are. This power plant produces 563 horsepower and a massive 664 pound-feet of torque. All that power flows through an 8-speed automatic transmission to the rear wheels. Now, you might think 563 horsepower doesn't sound like much for a car at this price point, but that's missing the point entirely. This isn't about straight-line speed or track times, though the Phantom will hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.1 seconds, which is genuinely impressive for a car that weighs well over 5,800 pounds. This is about effortless, serene, completely composed power delivery. When you press the accelerator in a Phantom, there's no drama, no noise, no fuss. The car simply gathers speed with the smoothness of a rising elevator. That twin-turbo V12 is so well insulated and refined that you barely hear it. What you feel instead is this incredible surge of torque that makes highway merging, passing, and cruising feel absolutely effortless. Rolls-Royce describes the driving experience as waftability, and honestly, that's the perfect word. You don't drive a Phantom so much as you waft along in it. The ride quality is something that has to be experienced to be believed. The Phantom uses a self-leveling air suspension system with electronically controlled dampers at all 4 corners. It's got double wishbone front suspension, a 5-link rear setup, and active anti-roll bars. But here's where it gets really clever. There's a stereo camera mounted behind the windshield that constantly scans the road ahead, looking for imperfections. When it spots a pothole, a bump, or any surface irregularity, it pre-configures the suspension system to adapt before you even reach it. Rolls-Royce calls this system the flag bearer, and it operates at speeds up to 62 miles per hour. The result is a ride that feels like you're floating on air. You genuinely feel disconnected from the road in the best possible way. It's serene, it's smooth, and it makes even the roughest roads feel like silk. The Phantom is also the first Rolls-Royce to feature 4-wheel steering, which helps make this massive machine feel more manageable in tight spaces and more stable at higher speeds. Not that you'll be hustling a Phantom through tight corners. That's not what this car is about. But the technology ensures that when you do need to maneuver, the car responds with grace and precision. As for fuel economy, well, if you're asking about fuel economy in a V12-powered luxury sedan that costs $500,000, you're probably asking the wrong questions. But for the record, it's rated at 12 miles per gallon in the city and 19 on the highway. This is a car for people who aren't concerned about fuel costs. Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where things get really interesting. The standard wheelbase Phantom starts at approximately $500,000. The extended wheelbase model, which is what most buyers choose, starts around $590,000. But here's the thing, those are just starting points. Rolls-Royce offers what is probably the most extensive customization program in the automotive world. We're talking about virtually unlimited options for materials, colors, features, and bespoke touches. Want your family crest embroidered into the headrests? Done. Want a custom paint color that's been color matched to your favorite piece of art? They'll make it happen. Want champagne flutes with your initials stored in the center console? Of course. The bespoke department at Rolls-Royce exists solely to make your automotive dreams come true, and most buyers end up spending significantly more than the base price once they've fully personalized their Phantom. So how does the 2026 model compare to previous years? Well, the truth is, if you're familiar with the Phantom from the last few years, you'll find this year's model continues that evolution, rather than revolutionizing it. The big updates came in 2023 with the restyled front end and illuminated grille. The 2026 model builds on that foundation with subtle refinements to the LED lighting, continued improvements to the technology systems, and that same commitment to handcrafted excellence that defines every Rolls-Royce. What's impressive is how Rolls-Royce manages to keep the Phantom feeling contemporary without chasing trends or making it look dated. The design has been fundamentally the same since the current generation launched in 2018, yet it doesn't feel old. That's because Rolls-Royce designs for timelessness, not for the moment. These cars are meant to look as stunning in 20 years as they do today. The warranty and maintenance package is exactly what you'd expect at this level. 4 years or unlimited miles of coverage, including complimentary maintenance. Rolls-Royce wants owners to simply enjoy the car without worrying about service intervals or repair costs during that initial ownership period. In terms of safety and driver assistance, the Phantom comes equipped with forward collision warning, lane departure warning, a head-up display, and a 360-degree camera system that makes parking this massive machine much easier than you'd think. There's also night vision available and even a laser light system for the ultimate in nighttime visibility. But let's be honest, the kind of person who buys a Phantom probably has a driver, and if not, they're experienced enough with luxury cars to handle the Phantom's size and presence. This isn't a car that intimidates from behind the wheel. It's composed, it's easy to drive, and it makes you feel like royalty, even when you're the one doing the driving. Who is the Phantom for? Well, it's for people who have reached a level of success where the usual luxury cars just don't make a statement anymore. It's for business titans, royalty celebrities, and anyone who wants the absolute pinnacle of automotive luxury. It's for people who understand that sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination, and that journey should be taken in the most refined, most comfortable, most exclusive vehicle money can buy. The Phantom doesn't make logical sense. There are luxury sedans that cost half as much and provide 90% of the experience. But that last 10%, that's what the Phantom is all about. It's the difference between excellent and exceptional, between luxury and true opulence, between a car and a rolling work of art. Standing here next to the 2026 Rolls-Royce Phantom, taking in every detail, every carefully considered line and surface, you realize this is more than just a car. It's a statement. It's a sanctuary. It's a masterpiece of engineering, craftsmanship, and design that represents the absolute peak of what's possible when cost is no object and excellence is the only goal. So there you have it, the 2026 Rolls-Royce Phantom in all its glory. It's not trying to be the fastest or the most high-tech. It doesn't need to be. What it does is provide an experience that simply cannot be replicated anywhere else in the automotive world. It's the car that all other luxury vehicles aspire to be, and it wears that crown with effortless grace. Thanks so much for joining me on this walk around today. If you enjoyed this look at automotive excellence, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about the Phantom. Would you choose the standard or extended wheelbase? What color would you order? And most importantly, what would you have them customize in the gallery? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep dreaming big and remember, sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination, especially when that journey happens in a Rolls-Royce Phantom. See you in the next video.